And so the way it's sitting right now, I think we've got about 40 non-technical and then 60 technical, which is a great mix. Like that's actually really really good, um, particularly because there's there's good opportunity for, like, there's plenty of work for a business guy to do on a team. And so typically you'll have 2 to 3 business guys end up on a team because we'll be light on developers. Well, here we should have a pretty solid mix, and so I'm actually, I mean, it's kind of an exciting group of people, because I suspect we can build with a few more developers on each team. We should be able to build a lot quicker. With a few more business guys, we should be able to validate better. And like, I'm more than anything, I don't know if you guys have noticed this in cruising around the Salt Lake, well, Utah kind of startup scene, but there's a lot of crappy ideas out there. And so I'm excited to go through a weekend where, like, people, they refine their ideas and come up with just some really solid, good startup ideas. More because, like, I mean, we've got some of the most incredible concentration of talent in America right here in Utah. And so letting them go through the process and seeing all of it come together, I think it's going to be good, especially for, like, college age kids coming to this thing,
Right.
people that are trying it out for the first time.
Yeah, I read that the U actually has had the most startups be created. They were above MIT for 2010.
Right.
Right.
Well, and how many of those did you see exit and become huge names?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's because like the idea process here gets skipped over quite a bit, right? I mean, we're not great at refining some of that, and so things like this, where you go through the exercise, you find good people that give good feedback on ideas. I mean, that's really valuable. That's what it's about. Starting the community
Right.
that it's not about you guys all being able to come to me. It's about, there's going to be 100 smart people in a room together. You're going to find some people that you really connect with, and you're going to go grab drinks later and hang out and keep working on ideas and working through stuff.
All right.
I mean, we all get better because of this stuff. It's great.
Oh yeah, it seems like a really huge learning experience for someone who does have ideas and wants to make startups like in the future.
So,
Go ahead.
So I'm seeing Brett had actually a good question in the chat room. In the past, how have non-technicals contributed to the project? So I myself, like, I've got a little bit of PHP experience. Like, I can code just enough to mock things up. I'm not great at, like, I'm not a great contributor to the Git repository, right? That's not my thing. And so I would be classified, I think, as a non-technical. The way that we bring value to teams, a lot of it is in doing everything that we can so that the technical guys don't have to stop coding, right? Like, they don't have to stop to put together the customer validation and work over the market stuff. I mean, we do everything we can so that they can stay focused. And there's things like getting out and actually talking to people. One of the things you're going to hear me just pound on is have you talked to customers? Have you been out there? Have you showed them your screenshots? Have you showed them what you're building? You should, like, immediately, that's something that we should start doing. We should start getting on the phone or going outside and working with people. And on top of that, like, the actual putting together the business plan, stuff like that. Sometimes, well, and the roadmap of how we're going to build this out. You don't have to be technical to be a good, to have a good insight into how to build a business. And so hopefully that's a lot of what comes out of the non-technical guys. Or, I mean, marketing and advertising, I think some of that stuff, if you put together your advertising plan, your marketing stuff, and you actually execute it in those first 3 days and get people to your side or get the message out there, or have the plan put together to where for sure people are actually going to come use this, that's incredibly valuable to any team, right?
Right.
So, I mean, don't shortchange yourself just because you can't code. You've just got to figure out how to fit in a startup and the value that you can bring and how to do it really, really fast.
Right. So those people might be, well, they'll be the ones going to the businesses, validating the idea, talking to customers, showing the screenshots. So, like you said, so the coders don't have to stop coding. So those guys can come back and say, oh, here's what they said.
Well, because if you get to Saturday and all you've got is a website that you built and you have no idea if anybody's going to use it, you have no idea, how exactly it solves the problem, and you can't point to any hard data that says that this is going to be a good idea and this is going to be successful, you're not going anywhere, right? Like, you have to have gone through those exercises so that you can make the pivots along the way and get to the right solution. It's it's about finding the right problem and building a solution for it rather than building a solution and then finding a problem.
Right. Okay, great. Well, I think that's all my questions that I had and that I've heard for getting prepared for Startup Weekend. So,
Does anybody else have any questions?
I do.
go ahead.
Hey,
Hello.
I'm Katie. Can you see me? Okay, so I was wondering, when I come there, I've been doing like mock-ups on Balsamic and working a little bit with my stories on Pivotal Tracker. Is that something that I need to have completely done?
You don't need to have completely done, but you're going to need to be able to show that to your team. So that's not going to come out in a pitch, right? But you'll talk about maybe you've been working through some of this, but as soon as you sit down with the team and throw it out there, hopefully, let's say you've got the mock-ups all done in Balsamic. Hopefully the first thing that happens is they take that, and that's a great springboard, and then they rip it apart and put together new mock-ups and continue to improve on it, get it even better and better, right? But a lot of times, that's the hardest part is getting that first iteration where then you can go from there, right? And so the fact that you've already done that, I think, would be a huge asset. So bring those, but I wouldn't worry, getting them finalized and pretty and the right color background probably isn't going to matter because hopefully you just rip them up and get better and better and better over the course of those 3 days so that by the time you're actually building and implementing the front end or whatever it's supposed to be doing, it looks really good and you've got like great minds and great input from your entire team on how to make that go.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Does anyone else have questions for Al?
Sweet.
All right. Well, I'll post this video to YouTube for whoever might have missed the hangout, and hopefully this will be a really good information for other people who might be attending this week.
Right, man. I'm stoked for Thursday night. It's going to be a good show.
For real. All right. Thanks, Al. Thanks for doing this.
Yep.
We'll see
you, everybody.
We'll see you later this week. Bye.